King Kong and Godzilla vs. Orcs, Titans and military unite for war. Birds sang, waves crashed against the rocks, and for a moment the world felt calm. But deep inside the island something stirred. King Kong opened his eyes. The great ape had been resting, sleeping for months, yet now he felt a strange disturbance. The ground trembled, far stronger than usual. Something was coming. Thousands of miles away, humanity was unaware of what was about to happen. Cities buzzed with life. Planes flew overhead, cars filled highways, and children played in parks. Governments had prepared for natural disasters, minor alien threats, and even rogue monsters, but nothing like what was coming. Deep in the oceans and in hidden corners of the world, interdimensional rifts were opening. From them emerged creatures humanity had only read about in legends. Orcs. These orcs were not the small, green-skinned creatures of ancient stories. These were warriors bred for war, towering over humans, clad in dark armor and wielding weapons powered by strange energy. Ships of massive size crossed the oceans, flying with engines that emitted an eerie green glow. Their first targets were coastal cities. In New York City, alarms sounded. General Maya Tanaka, head of the United Earth Defense Force, stood in the control room, eyes scanning the holographic maps. Red markers flashed on the screen. Orc fleets were approaching at alarming speed. "All units prepare for combat," she ordered. Soldiers ran, jets took off, and missiles were armed. Yet, even as they prepared, Tanaka felt a deep unease. Conventional weapons might slow them, but they would not stop them. The first wave hit. Orcs descended from the sky in armored ships, firing energy blasts. Their ground forces advanced with terrifying speed. Tanks were crushed under the orcs' brute strength. Fighter jets were torn apart by strange energy shields. Humanity's defenses were strong, but against this enemy they were fragile. Cities burned. People ran screaming. Tanaka gritted her teeth. "We need help, something bigger than us." Help came from an unexpected place. Deep beneath the ocean, sensors detected massive movements. Godzilla, the ancient king of monsters, had sensed the orc invasion. The sea churned as he rose, his massive form breaking through the waves. His roar echoed across the coast, warning the orcs that Earth was not undefended. At the same time, on Skull Island, King Kong roared into the sky. He felt the orcs approach like a ripple through the ground. His fists pounded the earth, shaking trees and scattering animals. Kong had always protected his jungle. Now, the world itself needed his strength, but neither Titan understood humans. They were creatures of instinct, massive and powerful. Humans were small, fragile, and weak. And yet, humans could think, plan, and act in ways the Titans could not. That was where General Tanaka's plan came in. She had spent months studying both monsters, creating communication devices to coordinate with them. Using sound signals, drones, and energy markers, she could guide the Titans, just enough to make them allies instead of threats. The first encounter was chaotic. Godzilla and King Kong clashed with the Orc advance forces on the coastline. Orc war machines fired at Godzilla, but he swiped them aside with a tail strike. Kong leapt from building to building, smashing armored orc warriors. Soldiers cheered from a distance as the Titans fought, but they knew this was only the beginning. The orc fleet had many surprises. In a secret underground bunker, scientists worked furiously. "The orcs are using interdimensional portals," one explained, pointing at glowing readings on a screen. "If they keep opening them, more and more forces will arrive. We cannot fight this with humans alone." Another added, "That is why the Titans are essential. But we need to coordinate. If they fight without control, the destruction could be worse than the orcs themselves." Meanwhile, General Tanaka directed human forces from her command center. Drones flew ahead of the orcs, marking targets. Missiles were launched to herd enemy machines into traps. Soldiers on the ground laid explosives to slow the orcs' advance. Humanity was small compared to the Titans, but clever. Every move was precise, every strike calculated. Tanaka understood the truth that the world often ignored. Humans might not be the strongest, but they were the smartest. The Orcs, sensing resistance, unleashed their secret weapon. From their sky ships, they dropped enormous creatures bred for war. Hybrid monsters, taller than buildings, with claws and armor plates. They roared and attacked everything in their path. King Kong fought them head-on, smashing claws and teeth with raw strength, while Godzilla unleashed atomic blasts to turn orc monsters to ash. Humans took advantage of every opening, firing missiles and lasers to support their allies. Amid the chaos, a small group of civilians tried to escape the city. A mother clutched her child as debris fell around them. Soldiers guided them through the streets. When they saw Kong protecting them from a charging orc monster, they gasped. The Titan had saved them. Humans realized then that they were not helpless. They could survive with strategy, courage, and unexpected allies. As the sun set, the battlefield was a mixture of fire, smoke, and shattered machines. King Kong roared, shaking the night sky, while Godzilla's glowing back lit the ruins. The orcs regrouped, withdrawing temporarily, but their leaders had learned something dangerous. Earth was not defenseless. Titans were awake and humans were clever. General Tanaka watched the aftermath from her command center. "This is only the beginning," she muttered. "If we want to survive, we must fight smarter. We must unite every weapon, every soldier, and every Titan." On Skull Island, Kong's chest heaved as he roared into the darkness. In the ocean, Godzilla dived back beneath the waves, leaving trails of glowing water. Both Titans were awake now, ready to face the threat. And humanity, for the first time in centuries, realized its full potential, not through strength alone, but through courage, intelligence, and unity with forces far greater than themselves. But far beyond the horizon, the orc warlord observed the battle from his flagship. His green eyes glowed with fury. "This planet is mine," he hissed, "and no ape or lizard will stop me." He tapped a control and more rifts began to open across the world. The invasion was far from over. Humanity's war had just begun. Titans and humans stood together, a fragile alliance against an unstoppable force. And somewhere deep in the forests and oceans, two of the greatest creatures the earth had ever known prepared for the fight of their lives. The smoke from the ruined city hung heavy over the coastline. Fires flickered in the darkness, casting shadows on the shattered streets. From a distance, the faint hum of orc engines grew louder. They had retreated after the first attack, but this was not surrender, it was regrouping. General Maya Tanaka stood in her command center, eyes fixed on the holographic map. Red dots pulsed across the screen, showing the movement of the orc fleet. "They're reorganizing," said a young officer beside her. "More reinforcements are coming." Tanaka nodded. "Then we'll be ready. This time we fight smarter, Titans and humans together, no mistakes." Above the city, King Kong sat on the edge of a collapsed skyscraper. His chest heaved with each breath, muscles tensed and alert. The ape had watched the humans in awe and curiosity. Unlike the orcs, they did not run in blind rage. They used tools they planned, and sometimes they saved their own lives. Kong could sense their intelligence, and slowly he began to understand that humans could be allies. Far out in the ocean, Godzilla rose once more, his glowing dorsal plates lighting the waves. Unlike Kong, Godzilla moved with a calm but terrifying presence. He could feel the orc energy through the vibrations in the earth and the currents of the ocean. He sensed their growing strength. And he knew one thing. If humans wanted him to fight alongside them, they must prove themselves useful. In the command center, Tanaka deployed a fleet of drones over the city and coastal waters. Each drone carried cameras, sensors, and small explosive charges. "We'll guide the Titans," she explained to her team. "Drones will mark the enemy positions. Kong and Godzilla will attack there. We'll coordinate every strike. Humans are small, but we are precise." The Orcs did not wait long. From the horizon, massive airships descended. Smaller Orc crafts swarmed ahead, firing energy beams that cut through buildings and streets. From the rift portals, more Orc warriors poured out, marching with mechanical beasts that crushed everything in their path. The battlefield was alive with fire, metal, and the roar of monsters. King Kong leapt into action first. He smashed through a squad of Orcs, sending soldiers flying with powerful swings of his fists. Trees uprooted, cars were flung aside, and the ground shook with every step. Kong's roar echoed through the city, a call to war that human soldiers could understand. Guided by drone signals, Kong smashed into Orc war machines, crushing them with precision. Godzilla followed, his atomic breath cutting a path through the Orc ranks. Tanks and machines melted beneath the blue-white heat. Orc warriors screamed and fled, but their numbers were overwhelming. Yet, with humans guiding them, the Titans were more effective than ever. The combination of brains and brawn was unstoppable. Amid the chaos, Tanaka spotted a squad of Orc hybrid monsters, tall, heavily armored creatures with claws longer than a truck. "They're faster and stronger than anything we've seen," she said. "Missiles and drones will slow them down, but Kong and Godzilla have to finish them." The battle intensified. Kong fought one hybrid head-on, dodging a sweeping claw strike and smashing the creature into a collapsed building. Godzilla unleashed his atomic breath on a second, vaporizing it in seconds. But the Orcs had more surprises. From the rifts, a massive Orc commander appeared. Unlike the other Orcs, he was larger, smarter, and wearing armor that shimmered with green energy. He rode a towering beast that was part machine, part organic. His presence made the ground tremble. "This is the warlord," whispered a scientist in the command center. "He's not just strong, he's a tactical genius. Watch carefully." The warlord gave a signal. Orc machines scattered, reforming into a new attack formation. Airships circled high, releasing more hybrid monsters, while ground forces pressed forward. Humans on the battlefield worked tirelessly, coordinating with Titans. Soldiers planted explosives along predicted Orc paths, drone cameras tracked their movements, and fighter jets engaged the airships. It was chaos, but controlled chaos. Kong roared, pounding the ground. He understood the warlord's strategy. Using his strength and agility, he charged straight through the Orc formation, breaking their lines. Godzilla followed with atomic blasts, forcing Orc war machines to scatter. Humans directed the attack, firing missiles to block reinforcements and luring enemy machines into traps. On a destroyed bridge, a team of engineers worked quickly to deploy a new device, a high-energy net designed to trap Orc machines. "It's risky," said one engineer. "But if we can hold just one of the warlord's beasts, Kong can finish it." Tanaka approved the plan. "Do it. Lives depend on it." The engineers activated the net just as an Orc hybrid charged. It hit the net and struggled, sparks flying from its armor. Kong seized the moment, leaping onto the monster and smashing it with a series of precise blows. The hybrid fell, defeated. Humans had helped turn the tide. The Titans roared in victory, recognizing that humans were not just bystanders, they were partners in battle. But the warlord was not done. He leapt from his towering beast, landing in front of Kong and Godzilla. "You dare challenge me?" he bellowed, his voice like grinding metal. Orc soldiers regrouped around him, weapons ready. Tanaka's heart pounded. "All units," she said. "Focus fire on his beast, distract him, and let the Titans attack. Timing is everything." The battlefield became a whirlwind of destruction. Kong dodged energy blasts and swung at the warlord's beast, while Godzilla fired atomic beams to split Orc formations. Human forces flanked the enemy, firing missiles and guiding drones to mark weak spots. The warlord's strategy was brilliant, but human ingenuity, combined with Titan strength, began to overwhelm him. In the middle of the battle, Kong paused for a moment, noticing a group of civilians trapped under rubble. He roared and charged through the orcs, lifting the debris and saving the frightened people. The humans looked up in awe. For the first time, they saw that monsters could be protectors as well as destroyers. Courage was not measured by size, it was measured by action. Godzilla, sensing the humans' contribution, altered his path to protect another area where soldiers were pinned. The orcs had underestimated humanity. The combination of Titan strength, human strategy, and quick thinking was far more dangerous than brute force alone. Even as the warlord prepared for his final attack of the day, the human-Titan alliance proved unstoppable. A daring maneuver by a pilot, guided by Tanaka, disabled the warlord's energy shield for a crucial moment. Kong and Godzilla struck together, forcing the warlord to retreat back to his beast. Sparks flew, metal bent, and for the first time he was forced to acknowledge that humans were not weak. As night fell, the battlefield was littered with orc machines, destroyed hybrids, and the bodies of fallen warriors. Fires burned across the city, lighting the Titans in a fierce glow. Kong roared into the sky, Godzilla's glowing back illuminating the ruins. Human soldiers cheered, exhausted but victorious. Tanaka looked over the map. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They will regroup. The warlord will not stop, but now we know our strength. Humans are not just survivors, we are strategists, engineers, fighters, and partners to the greatest creatures Earth has ever known." Back in the shadows, the orc warlord seethed. His forces were beaten but not destroyed. "They are clever," he hissed. "Stronger than I expected, but I will return, and next time Earth will fall." He tapped a control and rifts opened across distant continents. Reinforcements were coming. The next battle would be even deadlier. On Skull Island, Kong rested for the night. His muscles ached, but he had learned to trust humans in battle. In the ocean, Godzilla's glowing back faded as he returned to the depths. Yet both Titans sensed the same truth. This war was far from over. Humanity was no longer helpless. With courage, brains, and unity, humans could stand alongside monsters and face impossible odds. The world had changed. The orc invasion had shown humanity its limits and its potential. The next battle would test them all, Titan, soldier, and civilian alike. The sky was dark with storm clouds, but it wasn't rain that filled the air. It was the smoke of countless battles. Across Europe, Asia, and North America, the orc invasion had escalated. Interdimensional rifts spread like veins across the continents, and from them poured orc armies, hybrid monsters, and massive war machines. Humanity was stretched thin. Cities burned, and the global military coordination was at its limit. General Maya Tanaka stood in the command center in Geneva, overlooking the holographic battlefield maps. Red blips flashed, showing enemy forces moving toward strategic cities. She clenched her fists. "We can't fight them separately anymore," she said. "Every Titan, every soldier, every piece of equipment must be coordinated. This is our last chance." A young communications officer spoke up. "The Titans are ready. King Kong has responded to the human signals, and Godzilla is moving toward the European front." Tanaka nodded. "Good, then it's time to unite. Every country, every unit follow my orders. Humanity must show the orcs that Earth is not theirs to conquer." Thousands of miles away, King Kong leapt across the ruins of Paris. Skyscrapers lay in splinters, streets were shattered, but Kong moved with purpose. He could hear Tanaka's signals through the special sound devices humans had implanted in the jungle. Every beat, every vibration guided him toward the orc forces. He was no longer just a protector of Skull Island. He was a guardian of humanity itself. In the Atlantic, Godzilla rose from the depths, his glowing back cutting through the darkness. He could sense the orc warlord's massive presence in Europe. The energy from the rifts hummed in the air and waves. Godzilla's atomic breath shimmered, ready to unleash fury upon the invaders. He moved with the calm inevitability of a natural disaster, a force that could not be stopped. On the battlefield, human soldiers worked with remarkable precision. Engineers deployed energy nets to trap hybrid monsters. Pilots flew close to Orc airships, planting bombs to weaken shields. Drones marked weak points on the warlords' machines. Every human move was small compared to the Titans, yet critical. The combination of Titan strength and human intelligence made the Orcs' overwhelming numbers a problem they could no longer ignore. The first massive clash occurred near Berlin. Orc airships released a swarm of hybrid beasts. Tanks and soldiers moved into position. Kong swung from debris, smashing monsters one by one, while Godzilla's atomic breath incinerated entire groups of enemies. Humans fired missiles into the weak spots, guiding the Titans' attacks. An Orc commander attempted to flank the humans. He rode a mechanical beast twice the height of Kong, its armor shining green under the smoky sky. Kong turned, his massive fist smashing the beast's legs, toppling it to the ground. Godzilla unleashed a devastating atomic blast, destroying the Orc commander's remaining forces. Humans rushed in to secure the area, reinforcing the victory with explosives and precise airstrikes. Meanwhile, Tanaka coordinated from the command center. "All units, focus on the warlord," she commanded. "Distract him, weaken his shields, and the Titans will finish the job." The Orc warlord appeared, riding his colossal beast, towering over buildings. His green armor glowed and energy crackled around him. "You think humans and monsters can stop me?" he bellowed. Orc soldiers marched in formation behind him, their weapons firing indiscriminately. But humans were ready. Using precise timing, fighter jets engaged his airships, while drones marked weak points on his armor. Engineers on the ground activated EMP devices to disrupt his energy shields. Humans had become more than survivors. They were coordinators of the battlefield, thinkers, and tacticians. Kong roared, launching himself at the warlord's beast. The ground shook with every step. He dodged energy blasts, smashed through armored limbs, and grabbed the warlord, throwing him off balance. Godzilla fired his atomic breath at the energy shield, weakening it further. The combined power of Titan and human planning was overwhelming. The warlord summoned more hybrid monsters, but the humans had prepared. Energy nets rose from the ground, trapping the hybrids in mid-charge. Missiles and drones attacked from above, while Kong and Godzilla finished them with crushing blows. The Orc army began to falter, confusion spreading as they realized that Earth's defenders were not only strong, they were united and smart. A daring human maneuver proved decisive. A small team, guided by Tanaka, piloted a stealth strike ship directly into the warlord's beast, dodging energy blasts. The ship hit the core of the beast's armor, disabling its movement. Kong and Godzilla roared in triumph, striking the weakened beast from above. Sparks flew, metal bent, and with a final, earth-shaking strike, the warlord's Titan crashed to the ground. The Orc warlord himself fell to the earth, staggering but alive. He looked around and realized his army was in chaos. Orc soldiers fled, hybrids lay defeated, and airships fell from the sky. Humans and Titans stood together, unstoppable. Tanaka's voice came over the comms. "This is it. Push them back. Earth is ours." Soldiers cheered as they fought with renewed energy, using every ounce of skill and courage to secure victory. Even after the battle, King Kong and Godzilla did not stop. They chased down fleeing Orcs, ensuring no survivors could regroup. Humans aided the pursuit, setting traps, guiding Titans, and rescuing civilians. The Orc warlord finally saw that he had been outmatched, not just by strength, but by intelligence, coordination, and unity. With the Orc army defeated, the rifts began to close. The remaining Orc ships were destroyed or retreated into the void. Across the continents, humanity began to rebuild, surveying the destruction. Cities were damaged, but the people were alive, and their faith in themselves had grown stronger. Kong returned to Skull Island, roaring one last time in triumph. Godzilla sank into the ocean, his glowing back fading beneath the waves. Yet both titans left a mark on humanity. They had learned to trust humans, and humans had proven their value to the titans. In the aftermath, Tanaka addressed the world. Today, we fought not only for survival but for recognition. Humans may be small, but we are clever, brave, and adaptable. We have allies stronger than ourselves, and we can achieve greatness when we work together. The Earth is safe because of courage, strategy, and unity. Far in the shadows, the Orc warlord nursed his wounds. "This is not over," he hissed. "I will return, and next time Earth will fall." But deep inside, he knew something he had never understood before. Humans were dangerous, not because of brute strength, but because of courage, intelligence, and the will to survive. Across the world, humans celebrated. Soldiers hugged civilians, engineers fixed critical infrastructure, and families reunited. Stories spread of the Titans and the humans who had fought beside them. The legend of the Great Alliance would live forever. The day humans, King Kong and Godzilla stood together and showed the universe the strength of Earth's defenders. The war had been terrifying, the battles epic, and the losses heavy, but humanity had triumphed. Not because they were the strongest, but because they were clever, brave, and united. Titans and humans had proven that even the greatest threats could be defeated when courage met strategy, and raw power was guided by intelligence. And somewhere deep in the ocean and jungle, two mighty creatures rested, watching over Earth. They knew humans were not weak, not fragile, not unworthy. They were allies worthy of the planet's protection. The world had changed. Earth had survived. Humanity had proven its value, not only to itself but to the Titans who shared its home. And in the hearts of every soldier, engineer, and child who witnessed the battle, a new truth had taken root. No matter the threat, humans could rise, adapt, and overcome. For now, peace reigned, but the skies and oceans were always watching. And should the Orcs, or any threat, return, humanity would be ready. Titans and humans, side by side, guardians of the Earth.